What is a spiritual dream meaning of a bank?
Now, this isn't just some hypothetical question. It's about a real nightmare. The reoccurring nightmare of Madam C.J. Walker. And trust me, it's the key to everything.
Look, we're not doing a history lesson here. Think of this as a live psychic case study.
So her life, it began with locked doors. Every single one. She was born Sarah Breedlove on a cotton plantation, orphaned at 7, a widow by 20, and by the time she was a young adult, she was broke, desperate, and nearly bald from stress and a horrible scalp condition. I mean, the world had completely written her off. But she refused to let that be her story. No way. She invented her own hair care formula. She sold it door to door with her own 2 hands and built an entire empire from the ground up. And get this, she became the first self-made female millionaire in the United States. $1 million. Think about that. A Black woman achieving that at a time when she couldn't even walk into most banks? That's just a staggering feat of will. And this is where the conflict comes in. It's so clear. She builds this massive personal success, this empire, but the system, it just refused to see her. Gatekeepers told her the money wasn't real. Investors, they turned her away. Banks literally locked their doors in her face. So what did she do? She was forced to build her own financial institutions, her own community, her own world. So is it any surprise she dreamt of locked banks? Of course not. This wasn't some random dream. It was her soul screaming the truth of her daily battle for access, for validation, for just a place to deposit her incredible hard-earned worth. Okay, so now let's turn this on you. When a bank shows up in your dream, your subconscious is demanding your attention. And I don't mean tomorrow or next week, I mean right now. So answer this for yourself, right now. Were you inside the bank or were you locked outside? Were you in a place of abundance and access, or were you stuck on the outside looking in? Next question. Was the bank full or was it empty? I mean, what do the resources look like in there? Was it a place overflowing with wealth and possibility, or was it just a hollow, empty shell that reflects a much deeper scarcity in your life? And how did you feel inside it? Powerful or powerless? This is all about your personal agency. Were you in control, making transactions easily? Or were you just lost, ignored, completely terrified? Okay, what were you doing? Were you making a deposit or a withdrawal? Think about the flow of energy here. Were you investing in yourself, putting something valuable away for safekeeping? Or were you pulling something out, maybe out of pure necessity or even desperation? Last one, was someone guarding what was yours, and who was it? Was it a protector, making sure your assets were safe? Or was it a gatekeeper, blocking you, denying you access to what is rightfully yours? Look, these aren't just random questions. They are a diagnostic. The crucial point here is that your subconscious is running a full-blown spiritual audit, and you need to listen like your life literally depends on it, because it just might. All right, now let's get to the real heart of it. We have to translate what your soul is desperately trying to tell you. Okay, I need you to hear this. Let me be absolutely clear. Banks in dreams are almost never literally about money. Let me say that again. Banks in dreams are almost never about money. So what are they about? They're about your personal power and your worth. That vault in the dream, that's you. The vault is you. It holds everything you've ever built, everything you've protected, everything you've invested in yourself. So the question is, are you living with reserves, or are you running on spiritual overdraft, just giving everything out and depositing nothing back into yourself? It's also about your relationship with trust. I mean, think about it. We give banks our most precious assets, right? Your dream is asking you the same thing. Who are you trusting with your most valuable self? With your energy, with your heart, with your best ideas? And is that trust being honored, or is it being betrayed? A bank dream also taps right into your primal need for security and survival. So if your dream carries anxiety, if you feel that scarcity or fear, listen to me, that is not weakness. That is your nervous system signaling a deeply unmet need for safety. That is intelligence, pure intelligence. You have to listen to it. And this brings us right back to Madam Walker. She is your mirror in this. She built $1 million empire and was denied access. So how are you doing the exact same thing to yourself, creating all this value in your life, and then denying yourself access to the joy, the rest, or the support that you have absolutely earned. And finally, it all comes down to your spiritual economy. It's simple. What you put in, you get out. So what are you depositing into your soul right now? Are you actually investing in your healing, in your growth? Or are you just hemorrhaging energy on things, on people, on projects with zero spiritual return?
So, you have the results of your audit. What do you do with this? What's the invitation?
Listen to me. Do not dismiss this. This dream, this message, it wasn't an accident. It didn't just happen. It found you for a reason. Your subconscious just kicked open the door to the vault. It showed you exactly what's inside, or maybe more importantly, what's missing. So the only question that matters now is, will you walk through?
Part 2. All right, let's cut right to it. If you are dreaming about banks, listen up. Your subconscious is sending you a pretty damn urgent financial statement, but it's about your soul. You really need to pay attention to this.
Okay, so listen very closely. Every single one of these dream scenarios, it's a specific message. We're gonna walk through them, and I want you to notice which one makes your stomach drop. You know that feeling? That's your message. That's the one you have to deal with, like, right now.
All right, let's just dive right in, starting with the most urgent warnings. Look, these aren't subtle little hints. These are blaring, screaming red alerts coming straight from your deepest self.
So what happens when the dream is just a total catastrophe? I mean, the bank is being robbed, it's collapsing. What does that even mean? It means the very foundation of your inner security is under attack or just falling apart. These are crisis-level dreams, for sure.
Yeah, these symbols they're incredibly direct. A bank robbery? It means your power, your actual life force, is being stolen, drained by someone or something. A bank collapse? That means the foundation you've built your entire life on, your job, your beliefs, your relationship, whatever, it's rotting from the inside out. And that empty vault? Oh, that's rock bottom. That is total burnout, spiritual bankruptcy. Your inner bank account is completely overdrawn.
So look, the key here is not to panic. It's to act, and I mean immediately. First, audit your life. Who or what is the thief here? Then set just one, hard boundary this week. And if that vault is empty for you, you have to restructure your thoughts. You have to stop that negative self-talk that's just draining you dry. This is not optional, okay? This is emergency intervention.
Okay, let's shift gears to the next category. Now this one's a little more subtle, but trust me, it's just as destructive. These are the dreams where the enemy isn't some outside force. The problem, it's in here. It's you.
I mean, think about it for a second. All the resources are right there. The wealth, the power, the potential, it's all inside that bank. But for some reason, the door is shut. So the real question is, why are you locking yourself out of your own abundance?
Right. Each one of these dreams points to a really specific kind of self-sabotage. You can't access your account, you forgot the PIN, the card's frozen. That's you. That's you blocking your own gifts because of self-doubt. Totally locked out of the building? That means you've internalized someone else's rejection and made it your reality. And a foreign bank? Well, that means you're in brand new territory. A new chapter of your life where your old strategies, your old ways of doing things, they're completely worthless now.
So how do you get out of this? It's through action. You have to prove that imposter syndrome wrong. Do the one thing it's screaming you can't do. You need to reclaim your key. Stop letting some other person's opinion define your value. And hey, if you're in that new territory, have some humility. Admit you don't know the way and go find someone who does.
Okay, so we've talked about the 5-alarm fires and the internal sabotage. But what about just the day-to-day stuff? This next part is all about managing your spiritual economy, that constant flow of deposits and withdrawals.
And this is really simple, but it's also so profound. If you're dreaming of making a deposit, that is a crystal clear sign. It is time to build. It's time to invest in yourself, to learn something, to prepare. It's all about intentional growth. Now, a withdrawal dream, that's a call to give your energy, your wisdom, your love. But, and this is a critical warning, you cannot give from an empty account. That is not generosity, my friend. That is self-destruction.
And then there's debt. Oof. This is one of the most serious warnings you can get. If you're dreaming of debt or taking out loans, it means you're living a life that just isn't authentic. You're running on fumes, pretending to be someone you're not, maybe ignoring a promise you need to keep. And the crucial point is this: a reckoning is coming. This dream is your mercy call. It's a chance to get right before that bill comes due. So you gotta manage your flow. If it's a time to build, take that wish and turn it into a concrete 3-step plan. If you're being called to give, you better check your balance first. And if you're in debt, you have to name it. Is it an apology you owe? A truth you need to start living? Whatever it is, start making payments. Today.
All right, this brings us to our final set of dreams. And listen, these aren't just warnings anymore. This is a new job description. Your subconscious is calling you up, telling you to become a responsible steward of your own life.
Yeah, these dreams are all about empowerment. Dreaming of receiving money. That's not passive, it's a prompt. It's your soul asking, are your hands actually open to receive the good things you say you want? Working at a bank. That means you're being called to manage resources with real wisdom and care. For other people, yes, but also for yourself. But a flood? Whoa, that's a huge warning. It means abundance without structure is just chaos. You're literally being overwhelmed by your blessings because you have no way to contain them.
So it is time to take control. Stop blocking your own blessings and just open your hands. I want you to manage your own life with the same serious professional care you would give to a paying client. And if you're drowning in that overflow, create a container, a budget, a schedule, a boundary, something that says, I control this flow. It does not control me.
So here it is, the bottom line. Your dreams do not waste symbols. A bank dream is a direct, incredibly precise audit of your soul. It's not just some weird dream you had last night. It's a balance sheet. And it is asking you, no, it is pleading with you to wake up and pay attention. So the only question left is, will you?
Part 3, we are done with theory. This is about action. It's time to stop analyzing and start doing. Look, every day you wait, the power of what you know just fades away. So what follows are real, doable practices. Your only job is to find the one that hits you in the gut and begin. Not tomorrow, today.
Okay, first up, if you dreamt your bank was empty or flooded or being robbed, this is for you. And I need you to listen because your reserves are blinking red. We're talking critical.
Here's your assignment, the soul budget. For the next 3 days, I want you to track your energy like it's cash. Every single thing that drained you, that's a withdrawal. You write it down. Everything that filled you up, even a little bit, that's a deposit. Write it down. Then you look at the balance. No hiding.
And let's get one thing straight. If you're in the red, that isn't selfless. It's self-destructive. You can't pour from an empty cup. The people who depend on you, your family, your team, they need you whole. This isn't self-care, it's survival.
All right, now for you. The woman who dreamt she was locked out of her own account. You feel stuck, right? Guess what? The lock is on the inside. You've been holding the key this whole time.
This is the one-door practice. I want you to pick one goal, just one, that you've been putting off for 6 months or more. Got it? Now, set a timer for 10 minutes and you're gonna write down every single fear, every I can't, every what if that comes up. Then, when the timer goes off, you just challenge one of those lies. Find one piece of evidence from your own life that proves it's not true. Just one.
Because here's the brutal truth. Doing nothing doesn't keep you safe. It just makes you invisible. You're slowly erasing yourself. It is time to open that door.
Now, if your bank dream was incredibly vivid, maybe intense, or it's the same dream over and over, your subconscious is practically screaming at you. And trust me, it's not going to stop until you answer.
So here's the practice. You put a journal right by your bed. The second you wake up, before you even think about your phone, before your feet touch the floor, you grab that pen and write. Don't analyze it, don't judge it, just get it all down. You do this for 7 straight days, and at the end of the week, you read it all back, and you look for the pattern. It'll be there.
And you need to know the cost of ignoring this is high. These messages don't just go away, they get louder. They turn into anxiety, into sickness, into a full-blown crisis. Your inner world will get your attention, one way or another. What if you dreamt of a strange bank, or one that was collapsing? You, my friend, are in a massive season of change, and you absolutely have to know what you're carrying with you into this next chapter.
This is your asset inventory. You're going to make 2 lists. Column 1 is for your transferable assets. These are the things that are part of you no matter what, your skills, your wisdom, your character. Column 2, that's for what you are intentionally leaving behind. Old identities, toxic habits, limiting beliefs. You have to be ruthless.
And make no mistake about it, this is deadly serious. When everything around you falls away,
Knowing your own intrinsic worth isn't just a nice thought, it's a survival strategy. Write it down, read it until you believe it.
And what about the woman who dreamt of managing money for others, of building things for her community? Your gift is powerful, no doubt, but that gift can become a grave if you're not careful.
So it's time for an audit, the reciprocity audit. I want you to list the top 5 people or causes you pour your energy into. Then, next to each one, be brutally honest. What comes back? It doesn't have to be money, but it has to be something. Gratitude, growth, care. If that column is empty, that's not a relationship, that's a leak.
Let's just talk about the stakes. Madam C.J. Walker built an empire, gave everything she had, and died at 51. Your generosity can change the world, but not if it takes you out of it. Your legacy needs you alive to build it. Period.
So if your dreams are frantic, all about financial panic, speed, constant crisis, the message is the complete opposite of what you think it is. It's not telling you to go faster, it's telling you to stop.
I'm not asking, I'm telling you. Schedule a strategic pause. Put 2 hours in your calendar this week, 2 hours with zero agenda. No tasks, no optimizing, nothing. You are making a deposit of pure, empty space into your system. Yeah, you're gonna feel guilty. Do it anyway.
Because here's the thing, the kind of clarity you need for the biggest decisions of your life, it's just not available at your current speed. You have to slow down to hear yourself think.
And finally, if you dreamt of being in debt, of taking out loans, of someone else controlling your funds, this is about power. Someone has access to your inner world that they have not earned.
This practice is the value reckoning, and it all boils down to this one question. What is the unspoken contract that you agreed to that you no longer consent to? You need to name it, say it out loud. That's the first step to either fixing it or walking away.
And I want this to sink deep into your bones. Someone having free access to your soul's vault without your permission, that is not intimacy, it is an occupation, and you are allowed to change the locks.
The power, the resources, the value inside you, it is real. That vault is real, it is full, and it belongs to you. So the only question left, the only one that matters, is what are you going to do about it?
Don't you dare just nod your head and click away. Pick one. Do one of these things today.